This is my WWE, TNA, and Ring of Honor thoughts. And first, before I get into the video, I just want to plug one channel, and it'll be the guys from All Angles. Now they're back on YouTube. Some of you might remember them from a little while ago, and I'll put the link in the description right over there. So just check them out, subscribe to them. Now, first off, I want to get into WWE thoughts. First off, the main thing that made headlines last week, not just WWE news, but wrestling news in general, was Bryan Danielson working a dark match before the Raw last week in Oakland, California. And the main reason why this got so many headlines and everyone talking about it was due to the fact of Bryan Danielson actually getting the victory in his match to a WWE wrestler, and Bryan Danielson is not a contractual WWE wrestler, and that's one thing you do not see happen that much in WWE at all. I can't really even remember any times that it has happened. So hopefully this doesn't mean he's leaving Ring of Honor. If he does, I wish him all the well and hope WWE uses him well. But if he leaves Ring of Honor, this will be a huge, huge loss for Ring of Honor because he's basically the backbone of Ring of Honor. He's what Ring of Honor embodies, which is the pure athleticism of wrestling and the talents they actually get to showcase in Ring of Honor, other than what WWE mainly does is the size and the entertainment over the wrestling. So hopefully he stays with Ring of Honor, but if he doesn't, like I said, I wish him all the well. Then on to basically the death of Carlito's career, and WWE is probably most likely going to start completely burying Carlito. If not, they already were. They were already somewhat doing it, but I didn't really have a problem with it because I'm not the hugest Carlito fan, and really think he's one of the wrestlers in WWE. I don't really see why they even cared back in November when he threatened to leave TNA, because all it would have done was been basically putting Vince over even more, because if TNA pushes your former talent, that's basically saying your talent's better than the homegrown talent. So I don't see why Vince would have even cared about it, and it just would have made TNA look more like a joke if they would have tried to push Carlito, because he doesn't have anything that I think is worthy of being in the main event or even in high mid-cards, I would say. He's like a low mid-card wrestler at best, I think. And the main reason why he's buried his career over right now is he was in an interview somewhere in Europe. He was interviewed by someone, and he basically complained of not getting the push he deserved, and like a lot of wrestlers in WWE aren't, but he was upfront about it and said it. And another thing was the huge no-no you should never do if you want to work for WWE and you actually want to be a star in WWE and you actually want to get a push, is saying anything bad about Triple H. And in the interview, he said the main reason why he feels that Triple H is where he is right now and is world champion and is basically as high as he is in WWE is his marriage to Stephanie McMahon. Now, even though that's true, that's something, if you want to become a wrestler in WWE, you should never say, because you will get completely buried, and Carlito, his career in WWE is probably completely fucked now. And then on to Undertaker's return. The plan for Undertaker's return is, this is just rumor, but he might return sometime in July to the SmackDown brand and continue his feud with Edge. Now, there were two reasons why they took Undertaker off of TV for a little bit. It was one main reason. Undertaker was suffering from a hip injury that he's had for a while, so WWE wanted to give him a little time off. And another main reason why they did it is because they thought that if the Undertaker and Edge feud would have kept continuing without a break in it, that it would have lost steam by SummerSlam, which is going to be what when Undertaker returns, it's going to lead to an Undertaker and Edge match at SummerSlam, which most likely this feud will continue for a little bit. I see them ending it in a Hell in a Cell match at probably Survivor Series, if not the pay-per-view No Mercy or Cyber Sunday, because I see them ending it with a gimmick match like that. Then on to then still a little WWE news is Randy Orton is going to be out longer than expected. He's not going to be returning until late October, and this is definitely a huge loss for WWE, and for that time he's going to be gone, because WWE really needs that huge heel, because they really don't have it. They if they turn someone heel like a John Cena, which will work great, but I still think they'll wait a while to do that, or say if they do something in the draft and put Batista on Raw and turn him heel, then you got a good monster heel. I think Umaga could fill that void, but they're not doing the greatest job with him. And it seems to me at least that after Raw this past Monday, when they did the spot with Jeff Hardy diving onto Triple H and John Cena, it seems like that's going to lead to a triple threat and Night of Champions, or possibly even a four-way, because tonight you're going to see John Cena versus Umaga in a street fight, and this could lead to Umaga being involved in and becoming a four-way, which I think will be good, and it will work well for WWE too, because I don't think they want to give away a big money match and a big main event type match like a singles match with Triple H and John Cena at a Night of Champions, because that's basically a throwaway pay-per-view. I feel they want to save their one-on-one encounter until probably SummerSlam, and that would be the best time for them to do that match and, you know, build it up even more that it means more. So that could work out, and hopefully, you know, like I said, hopefully tonight's going to be the last time they do the $1 million giveaway, because that was a huge waste of time, that was a huge waste of time last week. And if they do that for a third week in a row next week on the draft with a 3-hour special, that's going to even drag out the show even more, because the draft already drags the show out a little, but, you know, even if they do the $1 million giveaway, that would drag it out more, and it's not working to the level WWE wanted it to, which it was to increase ratings. So it obviously has completely failed in that aspect, so I can't see them keeping to it after tonight. Then on to a little TNA news is TNA, after a hugely successful tour in the United Kingdom, they have announced a second return to the United Kingdom, which will be in January of 2009, from January 20th to the 24th, and tickets go on sale for that at the end of June. Just check TNAWrestling.com out for more info on that. And this is definitely good news for TNA. Sounds like they're trying to, you know, expand their expand a little more, which is a very good thing. And definitely they've been having a hugely successful run of house shows. Other than maybe one or two flops, they've been doing a good job overall with house shows and pay-per-views outside of Orlando. So definitely shows that the company is growing, but unfortunately, hopefully the pay-per-views will increase. You know, the pay-per-view buy rates will increase, and the ratings for Impact will increase, because Impact's been not doing that good as of lately. Don't know what you could attribute that to. I don't know if you attribute that to the NBA Finals, which most of the times on Impact they were going against the NBA Finals for a little bit, and, you know, there was always an NBA game on, so you can kind of attribute it to that. But, you know, Raw's been doing, you know, lower ratings, and they're not even going against that much on Monday, so don't know what you can attribute that to. Then on to the TNA World X Cup, which will be the finals will be at the Victory Road pay-per-view from Houston, Texas. And basically that'll just be the finals. So I'm guessing that the quarterfinals or semifinals to build up that finals Ultimate X match at Victory Road, I guess those matches will be held on Impact. So hopefully you see some good stuff on Impact. I really thought this past week's Impact was very good with the Doi and Yoshino versus Motor City Machine Guns match. That was a very good 8 to 10 minute tag, and really enjoyed it. Hopefully they'll start pushing the Motor City Machine Guns a little better. And the opener with Samoa Joe and Kazarian was very good as well. And overall, I actually enjoyed the show. And as far as, actually I forgot to mention ECW. ECW this past week was actually a little enjoyable as well. At least the first part of the show was enjoyable, which was the opening tag with Kofi Kingston and Matt Sydal, or should I say Evan Bourne now, versus Mike Knox and Shelton Benjamin. That was actually enjoyable. And then the Victoria and Kelly match was surprisingly good. And I never thought I would be saying that a Mike Knox and Kelly match was actually both enjoyable and both watchable, and actually enjoyed both of them. I never thought I would mention them two names and actually say anything good about them. And then on to a little Ring of Honor news. Basically the only Ring of Honor news is Ring of Honor has announced a return to Japan, which will be on September 13th and September 14th. And they'll be doing the same thing they did last year, which is one show will have Dragon Gate talent, the other show will have Noah talent. These two shows should be very good. Live in Tokyo last year was very, very good, and I'm hoping that we'll see a rematch from that show, which will be Bryan Danielson versus Go Shiozaki Part 2. Hopefully that does happen, and the Briscoes are going to be back in tag team competition for these events. Don't know if they're going to return before that, but they appear on the talent lineup of talent that's supposed to be there. So obviously they're going to be working these shows. So definitely good news for Ring of Honor. They're going back to Japan. I really like that. And the only bad part of this is, and this might affect, the 200th show was supposed to be planned for Philadelphia on September 20th, but with these added dates of Japan, the 200th show is actually going to be the second day in Japan instead of the Philadelphia show. So that's the only thing bad that comes out of this, but still, they'll pull out some good stuff from Japan, possibly some first one-on-one matches, and some good stuff from the Dragon Gate talent and from the Noah talent. And that's basically all my thoughts